Okay, what
should have said this MF said some wild shit. We ain't about it.
That's what they should have said. Yeah, just throw their player completely under the bus
right.
before an investigation.
We should have gotten a player named Uber, bro, instead of a taxi.
All right, so let's talk about DC against Inter Miami, and the reason
because somebody did a little racismo.
the racismo, the allegations are there. This was. Where was the game? We're going in Miami or in DC? I think it was in DC, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was in DC. Chritian Benteke scored his first goal for DC United. He did the LeBron celebration, so that was dope to see. But towards the end of the...
That's right, folks. Chritian Benteke plays for MLS.
Okay, some people... Because you know what?
His own fans.
It was retweeted by Bleacher Report and a bunch of other European outlets. And so it's a big deal when, you literally just left the Premier League. And I don't know if you've seen any of his comments about why he chose to come to MLS. And he basically said, I wanted to do something that would make me happy, as opposed to, he's sort of implying, being a footballer isn't just the be-all, end-all, and it doesn't bring you all the joy in the world. He wanted to play in a different place, maybe be in a different country, and get a different experience. So he's speaking very genuinely and positively about choosing to come to DC United.
I mean, some people would translate that to... maybe there's not enough pressure being put on him.
Yeah, and those would be awful people,
right?
Right. So wouldn't want to pay too much attention to them. But so this early in the second half, there was so is it? So in the 66th minute, that's when Taxi Fountas is subbed off out of this game. There was a long stoppage. And the reason he was taken out of the game
because there was a little bit of a scuffle.
There was a little bit of scuffle, a little face.
DeAndre Yedlin, I believe, was involved. Am I wrong?
He was not. It was the players in that were specifically were involved in the scuffle. Was I don't have his name in front of Damien. Damien was the player. There were two players, and let me see if I can get their names, just so I'm as accurate as possible. It was Damian Lowe and who was the other player? But so I did see Taxi and Damian Lowe. There is a video.
It says Damian Lowe,
right? They chest to chest, kind of screaming at each other. But at this moment, the game was stopped. The Inter Miami players said that they would not continue playing the game because they said that Taxi Fountas used the N-word at one of either Damian Lowe or the other player that I can't remember right now. So this is obviously a very big deal.
Massive issue. Get the guy out of DC.
Right, DC United.
I'm sure they have to do their investigation. You can't just
right. This is. But
if the other players are saying it happened, I mean, why would you make that up?
Exactly, and that's usually the props to the to Inter Miami. I even saw Phil Neville after the game. He was very honest and candid and said exactly what happened. So there hasn't been any vagueness about this.
Has DC come out and said anything?
DC specifically. I have not seen any comments from them. But
who does Taxi play for?
DC United.
Okay.
But Taxi Fountas did release a statement, which I have in front of me. This is from Pablo Mauro has been covering this of The Athletic. So please go follow at MLSist if you have not, if you want to see all the specifics. But this is Taxi's statement. He says, I did.
He said, all y'all. No, I'm saying.
Like, bam, bro. Yeah.
Damn, son.
He goes, I did not use the word I'm being accused of using. That despicable racial slur is one I denounce and did not use. We had a lot of discussion on the field, but I have not racially abused anyone. I firmly reject racism in any form. It is despicable. I have many friends from many cultures. I always respect the culture, religion, skin color of each person. I am therefore very upset by this accusation and saddened to be falsely accused.
Okay. Also, if you didn't see that, if you're listening to this, man hit the all caps for the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and it wasn't the Notes app, but he did it in a JPEG. Okay.
Yes. By the way, Shah Arcia, thank you for becoming a super fan. Terrible time in the show to mention that, but thank you. You did it. I don't want it to go away before.
I just could have mentioned it any other time.
I could have waited, but I apologize. Bryce Jackson said Taxi hit the I have black friends button. Okay, look.
He did.
Here's what I'll say. there's mics everywhere. There's cameras everywhere. There's no reason why these players would make that up. I can't imagine there's a word in Greek that's close to it.
Taxi Fountas is Greek, by the way. Yep.
Glenn Crook said that this is despicable from the Greek. No, shouts to Glenn. I can't imagine there's a word that's close to it that you would confuse. I don't know for sure. I don't speak Greek. I'm trying to think what is the reason, what could have happened? I think he just used a word. I don't know that there's something else. I can't think of anything else that could have happened.
I mean, look, there is
again. All this is alleged. I hate saying this, but we don't know. We don't know.
And credit to the referee, Ismail Elfath, who did stop the game. He did ask. He spoke to the coaches. He spoke to the captains. They really tried to get to the bottom of this, but the Inter Miami said that they would not continue playing the game. And Phil Neville even gave a lot of credit to Wayne Rooney. He said he handled it very professionally. He took Taxi out of the game, and that's they agreed to continue playing the game. And it was obviously a very big victory for Inter Miami because that win that late goal puts them in now they're in the playoffs. So clearly the game had a lot of meaning. And so realistically, you don't want to ever see stuff like this. And this is not the first time it's happened. It's not even the first time it's happened in MLS. But without a doubt, that the players know. I mean, it's not that they don't know. I don't see how you slip up and say this. I'm
going to go on record as saying I think DeAndre Yedlin would know when you used it. I think Damian Woodlow would know when you said it.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Look, I'm going to have to. Look, there's going to be some investigation. It's difficult to get any 100% certainty on exactly what happened. You want to believe everyone. You want to believe that Taxi did not say this.
You know who I want to ask? The black players on DC United.
Right. I mean, do they have some issue with
How you
their
feeling
teammate?
about this right now?
I don't know. It's like. It's disappointing. I'm using the word Glenn Crooks used. But overall, it's
from the Greek.
It's disappointing that this even something like this could happen, and there's especially in MLS.
Disappointing isn't the word. It's at this point, it's like despicable. Like the only thing I can think of in this, in no way, shape, or form excuses it, is maybe this is something that slipped out because he uses it privately without us knowing he uses it, and he was like, oh damn, I got caught up and used it. And now I'm going to get in trouble for it. Would you deserve to get in trouble for it? You know what I mean?
Right.
The only thing I can think of is maybe, that. I can't imagine that, or maybe there's a Greek word that's close to it, but it also doesn't make any sense. Just the N-word is a very clear word you shouldn't use. I don't know that you can easily get it mistaken for something else.
Yeah. So it's not like we know what happened. We're reacting to it, kind of like and responding to it the way everyone else is. You can see all the DC United supporters groups taking a very, very strong stance.
Yeah. No one has said like give him a chance. Everyone's been like, bruh.
It's look if it's all by all accounts, it seems like he did something and he said something and. He's saying he didn't. I don't, and that's where we are. There'll be some kind of investigation.
There's got to be a microphone close enough that you could hear it. I mean, that you could hear everything that happens.
Don't know. I have no idea.
You know how they wear the sports bra with the tracker?
Yes.
They should have a buzzer for when you say the N-word.
Okay. Yes, an N-word buzzer. Yes. Got it. Good idea, Alexis.
All right, so now we know for sure. It's like the goal line technology.
Somebody's going to be like, oh, why did we invent this technology, though? We could have cured cancer, but no.
We could have tried. At least cure the common cold. Mike Thomas said a shock collar.
So funny. Okay.
Just a player collapses. Be like, we know what you did.
We know exactly.
Okay. You can't hide it, even under your breath.
That thing has a 99.9% accuracy rate. Okay. No one's even sad for you right now, dog.
Nah, fam. Keep shaking on the ground, dog.
So look, it's more than anything, what brings me that the reason I say disappointment is just because we were very close with a lot of DC United supporters. We've performed at Audi Field, so you know how this makes the supporters feel, and the fact that DC United are having such a rough season, and then to deal with something like this on top of it is like, you just know they don't want to be dealing with anything like this. So
I mean, it doesn't even matter about the season. I'm waiting to see what Rooney says. I'm waiting to see what DC United says.
Yeah.
I am fully understanding that by law they have to do an investigation. I just don't see how anything else comes up besides that. And to put the statement out, okay, you did what you did. You put your statement out. Now's the time for us to really figure out what's happening.
Okay, so now
DC United did put out a club statement.
Yesterday, they put out a statement. I have it in front of me, and it says, DC United are aware of the allegation involving a player during the match against Inter Miami. The club will work closely with MLS and Inter Miami to investigate the incident, which is what else can they say?
Yeah.
They acknowledge that something happened, and so we'll see what happens next. Okay. All right.
What should have said this MF said some wild shit. We ain't bout it.
That's what they should have said. Yeah, just throw their player completely under the bus
right.
before an investigation.
We should have gotten a player named Uber, bro, instead of a taxi.
Yo, lifts with the hat trick.
Damn, man. Ride share Fountas would have been a bit more modern than this.
Okay.